I couldn't escape the pain, but everything changed when I got home. The office was the same as always. Stale air, the hum of computers, the rhythmic clatter of keyboards. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, casting everything in a dull, artificial glow that seemed to seep into your bones. A dense fog of coffee and printer toner hung in the air, mingling with the artificial pine of the maintenance staff's morning cleaning routine. I settled into my chair with a quiet sigh as the familiar pain flared up again. Deep, gnawing, radiating down my left leg like a slow-moving fire. It had been bad for weeks, but today was unbearable. A deep, pulsing ache that burrowed into my bones, twisting and tightening with every breath. Nothing helped. It was relentless, like some creature had taken residence in my left side and was slowly, methodically, gnawing its way through me. The morning meeting dragged on in the conference room. Jenkins from marketing droned about quarterly projections while I tried to focus on anything but the burning sensation that radiated through me. The polyester office chair seemed designed specifically to amplify my discomfort, each slight adjustment sending fresh waves of pain through my body. "Still bothering you?" Greg's voice drifted over from the next cubicle after we returned. He was sipping his coffee, black, 2 sugars, the same way he'd taken it for the past 7 years, with the usual lazy concern in his tone. Steam curled up from his world's okayest dad mug, a gift from his teenage daughter that he treasured despite its ironic intent. "Yeah," I muttered, trying to find a comfortable position. "Worse today. You should really get that checked out, man." I just nodded, even though I knew I wouldn't. What could they do? Nothing ever worked. Not anymore. Besides, I'd had enough of doctors, enough of sympathetic faces and carefully worded explanations. The morning crawled by. Sharp sensations shot through my left side with each breath, each small movement becoming an exercise in endurance. The numbers on my screen blurred together. My fingers hesitated over the keyboard. My mind drowned in the slow, unbearable throb that pulsed through me. The quarterly report I was supposed to be reviewing might as well have been written in Sanskrit. Email notifications kept piling up. Each little ping felt like a personal attack. Another demand I couldn't meet. Another reminder of how much this pain was taking from me. The cursor blinked accusingly on my half-finished response to corporate. By lunch, I could feel the pity radiating from my coworkers. The way they glanced at me when they thought I wasn't looking, their voices softening when they spoke to me, as if volume itself might shatter me. Lisa from accounting, who hadn't said more than good morning to me in 3 years, suddenly appeared at my desk, offering to grab something from the vending machine. The concern in her eyes made me want to scream. The break room was worse. Everyone huddled around their usual tables, conversations dropping to whispers as I microwaved my sad frozen dinner. I caught fragments. "Hasn't been the same since, and should take medical leave." The microwave hummed, masking their words but not their intentions. The afternoon stretched endlessly. Meetings blurred together, a parade of PowerPoints and action items that barely registered. My calendar reminder for the 2 p.m. client call felt like a death sentence. I sat through it, camera off, muted except when absolutely necessary, letting the client's complaints about the latest software update wash over me like static. Just checking in. Sarah from HR stopped by my desk at 4:30, her forced cheerfulness more exhausting than the pain itself. "Just checking in," she chirped, perching on the edge of my desk like we were old friends. "You know, we have great resources for wellness here. And the employee assistance." "I'm fine." I cut her off, perhaps too sharply. "Just a bad day." She retreated, leaving behind a pamphlet about workplace wellness that I immediately buried under a stack of papers. The silence at home. The apartment was quiet when I got in. The only sound the low hum of the fridge and the distant wail of a siren somewhere in the city. I let out a long breath, sinking into the couch, pressing my fingers against my side in a useless attempt to knead the pain away. It was deep now, an unbearable weight pressing into my bones. The throbbing had become an agonizing pulse that seemed to echo through my entire body. The silence felt oppressive. I flicked on the TV, letting some mindless reality show fill the space. Contestants argued over something trivial, while judges made exaggerated faces of shock. The normal world carrying on as if nothing had changed. I needed sleep. My dinner sat untouched on the coffee table, some microwave meal I grabbed from the freezer without really looking at the label. The thought of eating made my stomach turn. Instead, I peeled off my work clothes, every movement stiff and slow, and lowered myself into bed. The sheets were cold against my skin. I shifted, trying to find a position that didn't make it worse. From my bedroom window, I could see into the apartment across the street. A family eating dinner, laughing about something. A normal evening in a normal life. The kind of life I used to have before. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, waiting for relief. The pain twisted deeper, a searing pressure that made my breath catch. Minutes stretched into hours as I drifted in and out of consciousness, the agony following me even into my dreams. Finally, exhaustion won. Waking up to reality, sunlight filtered through the blinds when I opened my eyes. For a moment, the pain was distant, dulled by sleep. I pushed myself up, still groggy, ready to start another day. Then I tried to stand. The world tilted violently. My hands grasped at empty air as I crashed to the floor, shoulders slamming against the cold hardwood. I looked down at my left side, where my leg should have been, and saw only a stump.